Welcome back in. Let's get back to last night's shooting in D.C., which killed 2 men on Capitol Hill. We're joined now live with D.C. Police Chief Robert Contee. Chief Contee, thank you so much for taking time with us this afternoon. Let's start with that double shooting last night. What do we know so far about the case? And I have to say, when Commander Bryant spoke to reporters last night, she said she was heartbroken to share this news.
Yeah, so last night, just after 8 o'clock p.m., we have learned so far that it appears that the individuals who were inside of this black SUV were targeted by individuals that were in another car, followed this SUV, appears from another community, and the shooting obviously happened over there in the area of the 1100 block of Pennsylvania Avenue. Once shots were fired, we believe at some point there may have been an exchange of gunfire that happened. Someone in the other vehicle may have fired, but we're still in the very early stages of the investigation and trying to really find out exactly what led to the deaths, what led to whatever incident preceded this shooting.
Absolutely, and the impact on the community. You recently noted that the average homicide suspect has been arrested about 11 times before. In 2001, that number was just over 5. So do we know what contributed to that rise, and what should we do about that?
I don't think there's any one thing that contributed to the rise. We've seen that consistently over the last 3 years, that the number of arrests for our homicide suspects has been hovering in 10, 11 space. I think that you look at some of the community conditions that we see, that we talk about. When we talk about education, when we talk about housing, and some of the other contributing factors. In fact, some people just are engaged in violent crime. I mean, it's just kind of the bottom line for some individuals. But I think all of those things are really contributing to what we've seen.
And I think we can't take for granted what the pandemic has done to a lot of our crime statistics in the city. Chief, I do have to mention the Washington Post reports that there's an internal affairs investigation into a special violent crime squad in 7D that's led to the release of some violent offenders, some who were arrested on gun charges. I know you can't talk about the investigation, but what's the impact and what changes, if any, are you making in that special unit?
So, obviously that's a case that we have been working on here within the Metropolitan Police Department. As a result of some internal mechanisms, some things were discovered that were not consistent with our practices. Specifically, we learned that police officers in a particular district were seizing firearms from people, but not actually taking those criminals to jail in some cases. As a result of that, we ordered a review of every arrest that had been made, and the U.S. Attorney's Office did their independent review of cases that these persons were attached to, and made a decision to not prosecute at this time some cases. Certainly, that is something that we don't want to see, people who have been arrested back into community, but we have rules to follow as law enforcement, and if we didn't follow the rules, then that unfortunately is the consequence as a result of the actions of some of our officers. Certainly, those things will be taken into consideration as you examine adverse impact when we're talking about discipline or anything that might come out of the U.S. Attorney's Office with respect to criminal charges. Those things will be taken into consideration, the impact that the officer's actions have on the community.
Chief Contee, I know we are running out of time. I do want to talk about your 30 by 30 effort to recruit more women, as we're now in Women's History Month. Just give us 30 seconds on that effort as we close out this afternoon.
We're just certainly focused on women here within the Metropolitan Police Department. We lead the country, actually. 23% women is part of our workforce. Just recently, we promoted 3 high-ranking members within our agency. Very proud of them. And we continue in our cadet space to find qualified women to join the ranks of the Metropolitan Police Department.
I know I said that was going to be the last question, but I always have to squeeze one last one in. We know there's a lot of movement in Congress, and now we hear a congressman is trying to nullify the Police Reform Act that the council passed. What do you think about that move, and has that reform hurt or helped in your crime fighting effort? Real quickly, if you don't mind, sir.
Well, certainly. I think that those matters should be resolved locally. The mayor has a position on it. There are certain things in there that we think are helpful, but there are other things that are not very helpful, and I really do wish that those issues could be resolved at a local level without Congress interfering in that legislation as well.
Always trying to squeeze in the last question and take advantage of your time that you so generously offered to us. I appreciate it, Chief Contee. Thanks for joining us. Take care.